Hello everybody, we are back with another video and this is exciting because now we're doing a whole new musical. We are finally done with 110 in the Shade. Not that musical wasn't fun to research and stuff, it really was, but I am so happy to just move on and do a whole new musical. And today, or this next coming week or month or however long this goes, we are going to be researching 9 to 5, the musical. And I thought we'd start off this journey by reacting to the 1980 movie 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton. I've never seen this movie, so this will be a first time reaction. I feel like I'm ready for it. I have my work shirt attire. I don't know why I'm like getting dressed for this video, but I am, so there you go. I am ready for work. And I've talked to people who have watched this movie and really like it, so I'm excited. 9 to 5 is a 1980 American comedy film directed by Colin Higgins, who wrote the screenplay with Patricia. I cannot read today. It stars Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Dolly Parton as three working women who live out their fantasies of getting even with and overthrowing the company's autocratic, sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical, bigot boss. The film grossed over $103.9 million. As a star vehicle for Parton, already established as a successful singer, musician, and songwriter, it launched her permanently into a mainstream popular culture. A television series of the same name based on the film ran for 5 seasons. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a TV show. And a musical play based upon the film, also titled 9 to 5, with new songs written by Parton, opened on Broadway on April 30th, 2009. 9 to 5 is number 74 on the American Film Institution's 100 Funniest Movies. The film is considered a cult classic. I'm not sure if it's a cult classic because it sounds pretty popular amongst the public. All right, let's get into this. Oh, I know this song.
Working 9 to 5.
Oh girl, don't hurt yourself. Her costume is so much brighter than all the other
Norman, she has never
actors'
worked in
costumes.
her life before. I am sympathetic, Norman, but please, why do I have to train her? Let her work in someone else's section.
She's very willing, and she needs the job. She's recently divorced.
And I'm a widow with 4 kids. Jerry should never have died. I'd be better off. I could have divorced him.
My gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's all so new.
Don't worry, you're going to get the hang of it. Then you'll really be sorry. Come on.
It's very ominous.
Well,
Just a moment. Violet?
oh, yes, Roz. So sorry.
I had been meaning to talk to you about Mr. Hart's rules on office decor.
I
We
don't
seem to
like
be getting
her.
a bit lax in
Already
your
her
social...
vibes.
Oh, really,
I don't
Roz?
like it.
How?
We're a little over 5 minutes into the movie. And honestly, and the music was really good. I like that theme song. And what's crazy is no one's gonna believe me when I say this, but I first heard this song in the Broadway version. I never heard it as Dolly Parton's song. So that can tell you how cultured I am. I'm sure maybe I've heard of this song when I was a kid or something, but I just don't remember it. I guess it wasn't that memorable to me when I was a kid. But I do know the song because of the 9 to 5 musical. Number 2, I wanted to talk about the visuals. Everything is so dull. Like, I'm talking like color palette is like grays and browns and kind of green colors, black, whites mixed in there too, but everything looks it's just not colorful. The whole atmosphere is kind of dull, and all the people around the main characters are just rushing around, doing their thing, looking kind of depressed. The whole atmosphere in the workplace is very dreary. Like, you don't want to be there. And that whole room with all the desk and the people working and stuff, it just did not look inviting at all. And the only person that seems to have any kind of brightness in them is, I cannot remember the character's name right now, is Jane Fonda, the actress that's playing the character. She's wearing all blue, pinks, she has this cute little hat, these big, nice glasses. She's the only one that's standing out in this whole environment. She's a lot more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I guess you could say. She's the naive newcomer that's gonna realize that maybe this place isn't all it's meant to be. Even though I'm guessing it's not her choice because she is divorced. So now she's kind of thrust into this new world that's probably not gonna be great for her based on just the color palettes and the visuals between herself and everybody else around her and this building. Just first initial thoughts.
A chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
Why are we talking about football?
Its weakest link. God damn it. You should see some of the crones that have been coming through here lately. Real pathetic. Right, Violet?
You do not need to be
Oh,
comparing other
Violet,
women,
by the way, my
man.
wife is coming.
All I'm saying, Mr. Hart, is that my job description doesn't say anything about making purchases for your wife.
And
Yeah,
all
stand
I'm
up for
saying
yourself,
is that
girl.
I
That's
like
not
people
part of your
around me
job.
who are flexible and get along. So when
I
ask
do
an
not
employee,
like bosses
especially
like
one who
this,
wants
or
to be
just people in
promoted to
general
management,
like this.
I expect a
Those kinds of people that gaslight you or try to compare you to somebody else, or it's just manipulation. It's just such mean manipulation. It's like, well, I did all this for you and I said all these things and you're not helping me. And, you know, if you don't do this thing for me, then you're not a good worker. You're not a good coworker, friend, family member, just all these things. They start throwing all these insults at you, but they make it sound so, I can't think of a word, but they make it sound so nice. They're saying it so nicely, you know, acting like they're the bigger person in this situation. I just cannot stand those kinds of people. But good on her for standing up for herself. I'm pretty bad about doing that sometimes. And she tried to do it so respectfully, saying like, hey, that's not in my job description. I'm not going to get you a scarf. I'm not going to get you coffee, that kind of thing. He's basically dominating her and saying, well, no, you need to do this for me because if you don't, you're not a good team player. And so it kind of puts her in a tricky situation.
She's back.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Violet. How's everything
Remember
going?
when I was talking about
Dorothy,
colors?
The boss wants.
Everybody's been very nice, thank you.
Good. Listen, if there's anything I can do, you just give me a holler, because I know what it's like to be the new girl in town.
Thank you.
Judy, over here.
I was about to say, I'm really surprised she's wearing a dress like that. I'm pretty sure that's not work attire. It's not today, and I don't think it is back then. At least in I'm saying in proper professional workplaces. I don't think you're supposed to be wearing something that low. And even just a little, I don't know what you call it, but the little jacket around her frame, it's very sparkly and shiny as well. It's very showy. But again, talking about color palettes and stuff, we got this new character coming in, Dorleen, and she's got the whites and the greens, and she's kind of really standing out too, really standing out. So we got these two characters that have very different color schemes compared to the rest of the characters and the rest of the environment. However, Dorleen, it sounds like she's been here for a while, so maybe they're kind of showing her to be somebody that's outside the box, that doesn't allow people to dim her brightness, I guess, in a way. I think costumes are so important for characters because it really helps the audience or the viewer really get a sense of their character by just looking at them. It's just a great way to give a first impression to your viewers.
How's it going? Fine, thank you. Violet's going to show me around outside.
Hart's asked me to buy a scarf for his wife today.
Why doesn't he ask Dora Lee?
Oh, she's
She
saying
does
by
everything else
herself.
for him.
I'm just really surprised that she's allowed to wear
Hold it
a
right
dress
there.
like that.
What?
And I am not saying that there's anything wrong with this dress. I am saying that this dress I think is not appropriate for this work environment. I just want to clarify my point here. I think anybody can dress however they want to, but people should always consider who they are with and where they are going and dress accordingly. For example, you would probably dress differently if you were teaching at an elementary school versus going to a party with your friends. Or another example is you would dress a certain way on a date and dress completely differently when going to church with family. It's just common courtesy and respect to the people around you. That's all. So there's nothing wrong with this dress. I think this dress is very cute. It looks really great on her. However, I just don't know why she's wearing this kind of outfit in a work environment. It seems it's just very strange to me why she would wear that here. And I'm not sure if this character, Dorleen, already knows this or has a sense of what's going on, but it's very, very obvious why he has her as his helper. So I'm hoping that she's not extremely naive to this. I hope, just like the previous character said, I hope that she has some brains and can kind of read the situation. Because so far, with this outfit, it doesn't seem like she's reading the room, the situation, the place she's in. So this is going to be interesting.
You know, you mean so much more to me than just a dumb secretary, so I bought this for you. I've picked it out myself.
Well, thank you. You didn't have to do that.
What
It's
the
also
heck?
very
He gave
nothing.
her the scarf?
Dorley, I'm a
Not
rich
his
man.
wife?
I've got a checkbook over on that. You're all I ever think about.
Mr. Hart, I've told you before, I'm a married woman.
And I'm a married man. That's what makes it so perfect.
Oh, Mr. Hart.
Dorley, please.
What?
Look, I want you.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
for
why did
heaven's
you fall? He's insane. And
What are you doing on the floor?
is that his
Nothing.
wife? Okay, so wow. This almost seems too wild to have actually happened in the workplace, but based on talking with like my grandma, for example, and reading accounts of people working during this time period and just history in general. Unfortunately, I guess these kinds of situations have happened where the boss oversteps his boundaries and innocent young women get taken advantage of in various different ways. It's just so wild to think that this kind of thing has happened and probably is still happening right now. But I do know there's laws in place now to protect especially women from this kind of a thing. Because I think this was the time before a law went in place to protect women from harassment. I don't know my history very well right now, as you can tell. But I would think, like, it sounds like Dorleen does know what's going on because she says, I'm a married woman. We talked about this kind of a thing. I just think it's crazy that she's still allowing him to look at her, like touch her hand, you know, like that was a whole weird little thing. I don't know if she's in shock and that's why she's not moving, but he's literally holding her hand and then he's showing her all this stuff. He gives her a present, but then he finally says like, I love you, I'm deeply infatuated with you, kind of a thing. And then she actually, you know, stands her ground and voices her opinion, and then they fall on the floor. This whole scene is nuts, man. So I'm guessing Darlene's character, her personality is kind of one of those where she wants to be nice. She wants to be as polite as possible, but she also wants to stand up for herself, but she doesn't know how to do that. Is that kind of her character right now?
A lovely scarf.
Well, it's a present from your husband.
Oh, Frank, that was so
She
thoughtful
put it
of
on.
you. My
So
Daddy
thoughtful.
appreciates you. Well, put it on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's
She's very sweet.
Dorley, that'll be all for now. You can just
But she
finish
didn't
the
seem
letter
to take
later
the
on.
clue Dorleen was
Oh,
throwing
Frank.
at her.
Now just let me.
Throw it in the trash.
Well, I'll be damned. Just look and see who got paid off for services rendered.
That's
Don't
the
jump
scarf
to
you bought.
conclusions. Women, I'm telling you, women jump to conclusions so much and they don't even, like, they talk so much. I'm saying they as if I'm not a woman. We talk so much and we gossip so much, and yet we always seem to just jump into conclusions without actually talking to the person to see what actually is going on. It's very frustrating. But anyways, that wife seems so nice, you know? And I mean, maybe she, like Dorleen literally tells her, your husband gifted this scarf to me. And that just seemed to like go over her head. That's really sad because it seems like the wife has a lot of trust in her husband, which you should trust your husband. You should trust your wife and like have faith that they won't go against your back in any way. That's what a loving relationship is. That's what a good marriage is. That's how it should be done. So she's trusting that her husband's just being a nice guy and just gifting, you know, this woman a scarf, you know, that's super nice. And you look pretty, you look so attractive, you know, all those nice compliments. But she did not seem to realize that her husband is not just being a nice boss or a nice friend. He's gifting it to her to have her. I'm trying to say this in a way that does not sound too terrible. It's all terrible. This all just sucks because the wife seems so sweet and nice. And she has all this faith in her husband when she shouldn't. And poor Dorleen, man, caught in the crossfire with all that. Just because of her looks. That is a massive machine, oh my gosh. I know how she feels. Technology is hard, especially when it's some sort of, especially when it's some sort of technology that's not your own. It's like at a workplace that you have to mess with.
New little scheme I've got going.
And you just pray you don't break it.
What the hell is going on here?
Tornado in here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hart. It was going too fast.
You're not gonna help her? Obviously she's stressed. She's trying her best. Golly, don't be rude.
Everything's fine.
Terrific.
I got a job.
Oh.
I'm a secretary. Well, how's Liza?
Fine. She's waiting in the car.
This is such an awkward conversation. I know why his name is Dick. Sounds fitting.
Oh, hi, Judy. How's everything going?
Fine, thanks.
Hey, how would you like to have lunch with me today?
Well, I'm afraid I can't, thanks.
Well, maybe tomorrow. I know
She
the
wants to
cutest
make
little Italian restaurant, just a
friends.
hop.
Oh, Violet, I hadn't heard from you.
Gosh.
Did you get my memo?
I did, Roz. I tore right through it.
Good. You know, we
tore
must
right
clamp down
through
hard
it.
on any signs.
We are going to start color coding the accounts from now on. Frank's done a brilliant
Oh,
study of its efficiency.
my
Thank you, sir.
Gosh.
Really? Congratulations, Mr. Hart.
Thank you, Rosie.
But just brilliant.
The absolute
You're a fine piece of
audacity.
manpower, Frank.
Okay, so the last 3 to 5 minutes, there's a little montage. We really got to see Violet work. We got to see her in her element. All those phone calls that she was making in her office, or her little, not really an office, more like a desk area than anything else, but we got to really see her work. She was very fast, very witty, very quick. And she has this whole plan that she gave to the boss like a month ago, I guess. She has all these different ideas. Like, she's a very hardworking woman, and she tries not to complain. She tries to do her absolute best to make the best of the situation, even though it's not that great for her. So because we saw all of this, once we realized that the boss used her idea in order to get acknowledgement and praise and all this stuff, you know, seems like a really good, smart boss and all of that. You really feel for Violet. You feel for her because she's so talented, she's so hardworking, she doesn't complain, she does everything to the best of her ability, and yet it seems to go nowhere. And we see that when the boss comes in and basically uses her idea for his own. That's absolutely frustrating.
How long have you been waiting for this promotion?
Slip it in my purse.
It worked!
I did it.
She's also a handyman, or handy woman, I guess.
You gave that promotion to Bob Enright instead of me. I've got 5 years seniority over him.
I know that.
For Christ's sake, I trained him.
I know that. But see, the company...
Oh, the company bullshit. It's your decision. You promoted him. You tell me
Wow,
why.
she's standing up for
in the
herself.
first
I'm
place,
proud of
see,
her.
Bob does have a...
Do you hear me? I'm not your wife or your mother or even your mistress.
What?
I am your employee. And as such, I expect to be treated equally.
Just sit down and...
Look, I got a gun out there in my purse. And up to now, I've been forgiven and forgetting because of the way I was brought up. But I'll tell you one thing. If you ever say another word about me or make another indecent proposal, I'm going to get that gun of mine. And I'm going to change you from a rooster to a hen with one shot.
That southern charm for you. That was really awesome. Now, again, I don't think we should be making assumptions about somebody else's relationship with another person, but I think it was actually good that Violet brought this up, like, to Dorleen in a very aggressive way, but at least Dorleen now knows why everybody's been distancing themselves from her. And I think that whole little monologue that she had in the office proved that, no, Dorleen does have a brain. She does know at least kind of what's going on with her boss, that he's trying to make advances towards her. And she says that she's been open and honest and very straightforward with him about how she does not want to have a relationship with him. And even though he hasn't been listening to her, she still tries to be kind and polite towards him, even though he's an absolute nuthouse. And maybe some people would say bringing a gun into the conversation is too far. I don't think so. Maybe that's just because I'm from the South. So good on Darlene for standing up for herself as well and not taking anything from the boss. She's had enough. Now back to the gossiping.
When I distinctly overheard her reveal her
I do not like this
and make
character.
estimates of yours.
Is that one of them marijuana cigarettes?
We don't have enough for everybody. Cool it. Come on.
Judy's like, smoking?
Violet,
What?
someone might come in.
Oh my goodness. We're getting drunk here, guys. We're getting high.
I've got one. What's so funny?
Oh, I have this image of Hart running for his life, and the whole office is out to get him and hunt him down.
Is this a dream? What is happening?
Hi.
Hello there. Oh my gosh.
I think I'd like to just come riding up one day and give him a taste of his own medicine.
These little graphics. 1980 graphics. Oh my gosh, what did you do? What is happening? Why is he... Are you cooking him?
For me, I think it would have to be like a fairy tale. You know, something gruesome and horrible and real gory, but kind of cute.
Violet, get me some coffee.
Yes, sir.
Snow White. Okay.
Why? Why?
Why do you think?
Because I'm a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot?
Bingo.
Wow, this is so dramatic. And they lived happily ever after. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so that was wild. I did not expect a whole dream sequence, basically. It's really fun how each dream had its own visual style. We had Judy's dream that's very black and white. It's very, has like a film noir type of style. We got her with the gun and she's kind of like this like hunter basically that's looking for her prey. So we had this whole like fun little like chase, like this whole hide and seek chase sort of dream between Judy and Mr. Hart. And it was very fun and exciting, and they had all those little fun little comedy moments in between, like him running back and forth as she's trying to shoot him. And then we had Darlene's dream. Darlene's was all in color, but it was very bright. It was very country. She had this whole get up, and Mr. Hart was acting all like really kind of shy, nerdy, uncomfortable. And basically she's getting back at him for all the stuff that he's done to her. And then at the end with the lasso and all of that with the country music, that was really out there. It was definitely uncomfortable to watch, but I think that's the point, is because he's done all of these terrible things to her, and that was uncomfortable. So she, in her, in her drunken state, she wishes that she could do the same thing back at him, so he can feel how she's felt all these years or months that she's worked with him. And I think my favorite was Violet's dream. One, because I like those character animations and I like just the Disney princess vibe. And it was just so out there. It's like the complete opposite of Violet's character, because Violet seems like a very just a more honest, straightforward, firm type of gal. She has much more of a motherly vibe. So for her to suddenly be a Disney princess is just so opposite, but it's so fun. I think I liked her dream the best. And each one had very fun little graphic effects and sounds, either with the lasso and the country music or the little Disney princess music vibes in the background, the little twinkles, the skull. We have all these little fun little transition points between each dream. It just comes together to make the whole sequence just so fun to watch. But I mean, all that aside, we basically saw these girls at their worst. If they could do what they wanted to do, I mean, they would be committing murder, basically. The poor guy got shot, lassoed, and thrown off a building. But that's how they feel. They feel ignored, they feel uncomfortable, they feel they have all these emotions. And so I think it's great that all these women came together while they're smoking and drinking and all that stuff. But they came together to get out their frustrations, to rant, talk about things that are going on in the workplace, and hopefully that's made them feel better. I know I feel a lot better when I rant, when I'm able to get all my emotions out there, because I just feel so much better afterwards. And because of this dream sequence and this whole night of drinking together, eating together, talking together, you can see now that they are becoming friends. They've gotten closer because of this experience that they've all had with Mr. Hart.